Hallo zusammen, das heutige Video besteht aus 2 Teilen. Ich bin aber nur für den zweiten Teil verantwortlich. Warum? Weil der erste Teil ein 1:1 Mitschnitt der Präsentation am 15. September ist, in der Shelly seine neuen Produkte vorgestellt hat. Das Video wird dadurch ziemlich lang. Ich habe mir aber gedacht, es gehört trotzdem auf meinen Kanal, weil es ja hier auch hauptsächlich um Shellys geht. Ich habe die Präsentation live gesehen, wie etwa 1000 andere Leute auch. Gab auch eine Chat-Funktion, aber eben sehr viele auch noch nicht. Deswegen könnt ihr das hier nachholen, wenn ihr mögt. Im zweiten Teil geht es um meine persönliche Meinung zu den Geräten, um die Gedanken, die ich mir dazu gemacht habe und um mein persönliches Fazit, ob ich die jetzt kaufen würde oder noch nicht. Ich habe das Video unten mit einer Zeitleiste versehen, also wenn ihr die Präsentation schon gesehen habt oder es euch zu lang ist und euch nur meine Meinung interessiert, dann könnt ihr natürlich auch direkt dahin springen, andersrum genauso. Ich habe übrigens einige der Geräte auch schon einige Zeit hier, also diese 2 Geräte aus der Plus-Serie und hier den großen für die Hutschiene. Das heißt, meine Meinung basiert auch nicht nur auf dem, was ich in der Präsentation gesehen habe, sondern ich habe auch viele Sachen selbst ausprobieren können. Vorher noch schnell 2 wichtige Mitteilungen in eigener Sache. Sowohl Hutschienenhalter als auch Wandhalter und Gehäuse für diese 2 neuen Shelly-Plus Geräte sind bereits jetzt bei mir im Shop verfügbar. Die alten Halterungen passen also dafür nicht. Und zweitens, der neue Lichtsensor, den ich im letzten Video vorgestellt habe und den ihr Verrückten mir am ersten Tag komplett weggekauft habt, also alle, die ich da hatte, der ist ab sofort auch wieder bestellbar und wird am Montag ausgeliefert. Und jetzt viel Spaß mit Shelly.
Dear Shelly friends, good evening, good afternoon and good morning. Welcome to the official launch of the Shelly next generation devices. Yesterday Apple and Xiaomi presented their latest devices, but today is time for some totally new technologies from Shelly. Some of the new products you already know, like 4 Pro, PM, but we have a lot of new surprises that we keep hidden for this event. Together with me for this international event, we'll make it from 3 different locations. Here in Bulgaria, together with me is Ivan, which is our Chief Sales Officer, Chief Commercial Officer, and our greatest developer, Kirill. From USA, we will present our Chief Technology Officer, Doug, and from Poland is our industrial designer, Angel. Okay, there is an angel here for this event, which is good. But okay, let's start. You know that 4 years ago, we were making was for you. And all the knowledge now is implemented in the Shelly new generation devices. Both hardware and firmware is significantly improved. And as you see later, that is amazing feature and the cutting-edge technologies is implemented in them. But this is not the all, because we will present today just the first devices, which is from the new generation, and they will be followed with much and much more in the latest months. Okay, and today for the new Pro devices, they will be presented from Ivan, which is right to me. Hello, Ivan. I just want to say that during the presentation, I will look your messages in the Facebook and YouTube, and at the end of presentation, I will try to answer the part of them. Of course, maybe not for all, but in the day after the presentation, I will do that. And Ivan, hello, please.
Hello. Thank you for being with us here. Let me tell you a few words about the first line of devices which I'm going to present tonight. This is the Pro line. What is the Pro line and why it was created? 4 years ago, as Dimitri said, we created our first Shelly devices made for retrofit. These were our best sellers, Shelly 1 and Shelly 2, followed by many other devices that you already know and use on an everyday basis. We have always believed that these devices are meant to be mounted Behind switches and sockets inside the wall, they do not require your home to be redesigned for automation, nor any changes in your electrical installation. And today, there are more than 3.5 million Shelly devices working all around the world, worldwide. That's impressive, right? But I'll tell you what's even more impressive. That's you guys. Our Shelly users, you have shown how creative you are. I honestly believe that there is no other group of most creative users of any other brand in the world. We're extremely happy to lead and be part of that global community. In a very short time, we saw how you created special holders for Shelly devices to be mount them in the breaker box. But many of you have encountered problems with heat, Wi-Fi coverage, and this is why because the retrofit devices are just not designed to work in such conditions. Many of you and our future users are currently building new homes when now they can do centralized professional automation. It's time for the electricians to put their hands on a device that is designed to work within the breaker box, easy for maintenance and monitoring. And that's why we've created the Shelly PRO line. In a significantly larger housing, our engineers can afford much higher level of security, power, and thermal control, and have added multiple connection possibilities. With great pleasure, I present you the Shelly PRO line. I think this is the best line for centralized automation for homes and offices. I hope one day you will share that opinion. It's easy to be expanded upon your needs. It's much more powerful and equipped with everything you need. And these are the first Shelly PRO line devices. Let's have a look at them. I hope you've enjoyed that video here. Let me quickly just underline the most important things and characteristics of those devices. DIN rail mountable, designed to meet the global DIN rail standards. Connectivity is enhanced. Wi-Fi as usual. but we have added Bluetooth and LAN connectivity. Enhanced safety is in our top priority. Temperature and overpower protection, over voltage protection, and the latest of flame-resistant materials used in our devices. Custom automation is based on your preferences: sunset, sunrise actions, weekly scheduling, HTTP commands, something new, which is HTTPS and webhooks, and something that many of you have been waiting for, Shelly scripts. We'll talk about these new features a bit later. This is a great solution for new buildings, perfect to automate manufacturing facilities based on your or your business needs. You have a full automation, quick and easy control. You can gather data for the power consumption and analyze it, and that will save you money. And here are the products. You have met Shelly PRO for PM, and these are the new products to the line. Shelly PRO 1, Shelly PRO 1 PM, Shelly PRO 2, and Shelly PRO 2 PM. We've divided them into different groups. You know that these beautiful devices powered by extremely fast ESP32. It has color screen with navigation keys, overpower, over voltage protection, LAN, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, and it has 4 channels with 4 outputs, 16 ampere each, and the total device maximum input is 40 amps. And here are the new guys. Shelly 1 Pro is a single output relay, 16 ampere output. Shelly PRO 2 is double output relay with 16 ampere of each output, and the total device can output up to 25 amps. LAN, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, DIN-Ray mountable, ESP, extremely fast as usual. And this is something which is very important for many of you. This device supports 2 independent phases. And the power metering versions, Shelly PRO 1 PM, Shelly PRO 2 PM. Both of them, power meters, single output for the Shelly PRO 1 PM with 16 ampere output, and 2 16 ampere outputs for the Shelly PRO 2 PM with total device output of 25 amps. We have power metering, which is the main difference, DIN-Ray mountable, extremely fast processor, and everything else that is a must in the Pro line. All our devices do not require the hub, and we'll talk about that later. I hope you enjoyed that brief presentation.
Okay, thank you, Evan.
Let me just show actually how these devices look like, because we've been talking about them. Well, some of them are just behind my back here. We've been using them for quite a while now in our office. 4 Pro PMs working flawlessly, actually. And here, I have a professional breaker box, or at least the idea of how it should look like. I'm pretty sure that many of you will take this as an example, and soon we will be seeing a lot of pictures on our Facebook page. But believe me, this is not enough space to fit all the news that are coming from Shelly.
And thank you, the Pro line, that is not only which we show, it's coming, news coming. I see already some questions. Is there HomeKit support? Yes, we'll be there, but we're still working on the implementation together with Apple and their MFI program. Maybe it will take a month or 2 before, but all devices which are already installed and sold at this moment will be available and it will be compatible with the HomeKit. But anyway, this is the Pro line. It's just the beginning. There will be more and more Pro devices which will allow to use for every application in your homes. But now it's something new, something interesting. We will continue and use something which is we keep hidden, even that many customers from our groups already tested for a month and have them. But now is Doug, which will present you the new Shelly-Plus line. Hi Doug, how are you? How is the weather in the morning?
Good morning.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's actually warm and sunny here in Florida. Thanks for asking. I'd like to present to you the Shelly-Plus line. I'm really excited about these products. They're the next step for Ultraco Robotics. Shelly 1 and 1 PM are wonderful products with millions of devices in service around the world already. However, we want to continually improve the user experience and increase the applications available for you. And many of you request new features, fantastic suggestions that we'd love to implement. For example, the ability to use cloud and MQT at the same time, or to support secure transports, HTTPS or MQTTS for safe control from remote or multiple locations. As Demeter just mentioned, a lot of you would like to see Apple HomeKit integration. And as amazing as the first generation Shelly products are, there are some unavoidable limitations due to the hardware platform. The Plus line, by contrast, is much more powerful and flexible, which will allow all of these features and many more. Our commitment to customer value hasn't changed, though. Very soon, you're going to have access to virtually endless possibilities in a device that costs less than $20. Now, here we've got a brief video to introduce this exciting new line of products to you. So a 2-minute video really isn't long enough to tell you everything that you need to know about a new product line. I've got some key points I'd like to share with you regarding the Plus products. First, there's the new ESP32 processor, Bluetooth support, enhanced safety features, and the amazing API updates. The device is twice as fast with twice as much flash. It's got built-in Bluetooth, twice the number of GPOs, and a more powerful radio that we've paired with an enhanced antenna for greater range. By doubling the product's flash size, that allows all kinds of enhancements that our customers, you, have requested for years, not the least of which is the ability to have cloud connection and MQTT enabled at the same time. Now, you're already used to the bright, colorful enclosures of Shelly relays, each of them a slightly different shape or size. We're still going to have the bright colors, so it's easy to tell them apart, but now the enclosures for all Plus line relays will have a uniform form factor. In addition, the wiring diagram is printed right on the enclosure. When you're installing, you've got a screwdriver in one hand and your Shelly in the other. You don't need to try to juggle your phone or a sheet of paper to see how it's supposed to be wired. Now, one more benefit of that uniform form factor is that it's going to allow Plus products to all use the same add-on accessories. In terms of integration, I've worked with some of the best engineers involved with smart home and IoT, and thanks to their work, you're able to use Shelly products with an amazing number of hubs, smart home platforms, voice assistants, SCADA software, building management programs, and IoT systems. Now developers will have even more powerful tools, as well as having the same functionality regardless of the transport protocol they need to use, since all of our APIs are now based on a single RPC infrastructure. The key is that integrators will have great flexibility in adapting Shelly products to the requirements of their systems with greater consistency between product types and transports. What really sets the NG devices apart, though, is support for secure transport, allowing MQTT plus SSL, HTTPS, and more, with certificate management supported through the device's user interface. For IoT applications, that means there's no more need for gateways or VPNs. You just use your client's existing network and have security added. Now, for all of the engineers out there, Shelly+1 now meets SELV standards. There's much more space between components, particularly for Shelly+1, where we added extra insulation space between the relay contact and other parts. Now, if you're a consumer or a developer and you don't really know what that means, it's an enhanced level of isolation and safety. You know, everybody loves the phrase, resistance is futile. And maybe it is, but resistance is actually heat. And that can cause critical failures in electrical and electronic products. Shelly+1 now has over temperature protection to help avoid heat-related failures. Shelly+ products also run 20% cooler than the originals when used with high current applications. Now, for smart features, imagine allowing your Plex system to set mood lighting in your home theater, or to turn on a fan or close the drapes when you're ready to watch a movie. Or what about the thousands of IFTTT applets you can create and now connect to Shelly? Our webhooks implementation now supports secure connection and much greater flexibility on implementation. It's a much more powerful and robust system. At the same time, built-in and locally controlled schedules are still a mainstay of all of our products, though we've now enhanced the sunrise, sunset, offset to allow you up to 23 hours rather than 6. I'd love to tell you about Shelly Script, but you're going to have to wait for Carol. You're not going to be disappointed. What I will say, though, is that it's not just an amazing new feature. Thanks to the existing APIs for the original Shelly products, next generation devices can help you make better use of the Shellys you already have installed. As always, Shelly products don't need a hub. In fact, they can actually control each other using the Shelly app or their local interface. And our all-new app is almost out of beta testing and will soon be available from the Apple or Google Play stores for everyone. At the same time, there's either a native integration, commercially available driver, or community-developed driver for virtually every major hub, platform, or voice assistant. As you can see, when we say that we've incorporated everything we've learned to date into these next-generation devices, it's not an exaggeration. Every day, you teach us how to use our products, and this is the result of what you've shown us. Some key points you want to know. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The first generation products have been amazing. They're powerful, flexible, and used in applications that we've never anticipated. There were areas that could be improved, though, and the most important was the inclusion process. With some combinations of mobile devices, OS versions, and routers, the inclusion process could be a real struggle. Not anymore. The ability of Shelly Plus to connect to a network while still broadcasting an AP, combined with the ability to provision using Bluetooth, means that even the hardest cases will have an easy setup path and a much improved user experience. As discussed, we've added over temperature protection like Shelly 1. Shelly Plus 1 supports low voltage and has dry contacts. Everything that you depend on for Shelly 1 today to control, you can control with Shelly Plus 1. As always, you can create flexible, sophisticated scenes using our free cloud service. You can still enjoy locally controlled and scheduled lighting circuits, electrical outlets, garage door openers, fans, irrigation, and much more. Now add in DC circuits up to 240 volts for advanced IoT projects. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the specs between Shelly Plus 1 and Shelly 1. A couple of key points that we haven't already covered. The built-in reset switch is right on the back of the cover. We've replaced CoAP with an upcoming UDP API. This is going to confirm with our other RPC-based APIs, offer more reliable communications, and lower network burden. Also notice the greater support for AC and DC voltages. We'd also like to introduce the Shelly Plus 1 PM. The benefits we've added to Shelly Plus One you'll also find here, but combined with power metering, overpower protection, and over voltage protection. While you're already familiar with overpower protection from Shelly 1 PM, over voltage protection is new and prevents damage from power spikes on the circuit. And everything you were able to do with Shelly 1 PM, you can also do with Shelly Plus 1 PM and more. Now, finally, here are the specs for Shelly Plus 1 PM compared to Shelly 1 PM. Thanks for taking the time to let me share this with you. I hope you have a great evening.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you for your presentation. Yeah, the Plus line. I see many more questions coming about the Pro line and also the Plus line, the dimmer. It's coming, yeah, but we need more time to be prepared because it's this is the challenge. There's lots of challenging, especially for dimmer, especially for the devices which don't use the neutral. But we work on that, and soon you will see it. That's sure. But now I want to continue with something else. It's not enough for today. I want to present you something which is much more mechanical than electrical device.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I think it's better to present our designer, our lead technical designer, who can give much better explanation of what we're going to talk about.
Okay. Hello, Angel.
Hello, Angel.
Hello, everybody from Poland. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of this great presentation. How are you? So let me tell you more about Shelly's wall switches, our new product line that is something that I'm sure a lot of people wait for a long time. Let me tell you how we start development of Shelly switch. It's a simple. When I try once to install Shelly device in the wall bracket, just I assimilate that the wall bracket, it wasn't deep enough to manage this situation. Then I assimilate that we can make our own Shelly wall switch. That is simply thinner and at the same time have a holder that hold the specific Shelly relay and to make installation simpler and to make you stable when you mount it. When we start development, our mission was to give you more opportunities and freedom to follow your specific needs. Designed to facilitate your and your family's automation needs, now you can have a custom wall switches for all Shelly relays with beautiful glass frames that fits in your interior design. So let's see the video.
Designed to facilitate your specific automation needs, developed with the smallest details in mind. Now you can have a custom wall switch for your Shelly relays and save on space and money. We proudly present Shelly Wall Switch for Smart Relays. No need to change your or your family's habits. Shelly Wall Switch for Smart Relays can either work as a normal wall switch or be controlled through your home automation system. All you have to do is choose the components and their colors. Shelly Wall Switch for Smart Relays has a variety of relay holders depending on your specific automation needs. Customizable switch buttons, a switch frame, and an elegant wall frame for a stylish final touch. You can install Shelly Smart Relay Wall Switch in the place of your retro light switches. No additional wiring or reconstructions required. Order your custom Shelly Wall Switch for Smart Relays in 3 easy steps. Step 1. Select the number of switch slots you would like to have. Step 2. Select the number of switch buttons according to their compatibility with the relay you would like to use. Step 3. Select the color. Shelly Wall Switch for Smart Relays. One step closer to the supreme smart home experience. Shelly, make IoT simple.
Such impressive presentation, isn't it? Let me tell you more about product line of the Shelly wall switches. Shelly wall switches for smart relays give you modularity from next level. We know that most of your most of you has a specific needs and gives you opportunity to follow it without needs to change your habits. And more, fits in any existing wall switch console, less space needs, and less wiring. No need for 2 switches in the wall. Of course, you can use like a normal switch and also control from the application. But the most important that we really wanted to include in this development, it was the modularity. Modularity from next level, and flexibility, it's also important for us. Let me show you directly from the software. Here we have, for example, single button, but of course, this will be not enough. Let me show you how the construction works. First, when you choose already the relay that you need, you have a holder. And this holder secure the relay with specific hooks that fix good to the relay. And after that, the only thing that you need to do is simply to connect by 4 hooks, only by clicking. And of course, you need more. And it gives you more. We have options for 1, 2, and fully 4 buttons functionality that can fit also in 1 triple frame. But let's come back to the presentation to tell you more about the frames and the options of the buttons. So at the beginning, it will be 1, 2, and 4 buttons option. 1 button, of course, it will be possible to controlling on-off functions and dimming. 2 buttons, it's two-way on-off or dimming or roller. 4 buttons, stand execution, 4 ways on-off, 2 dimmers, and 2 rollers. Colors at the beginning will be available in black and white. As also, we know it's really important that in some cases, it's important to have more than 1, 2. That's why we made also triple frame available at the beginning. Yes, we know interior of your homes, it's really important. And we made compatibility that it's working with Legrand neue frames series, that you can use also the Legrand frames to place on your Shelly switches at the wall, or you can wait in the really closer future, we will supply also our own colorful frames. And now let's come back to the office in Sofia, and Dimitar will show you how to assembly and mount one of our Shelly wall switches. And Dimitar, please be careful this time with the higher voltages.
That was impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It is impressive.
You do really very good job about the switches, and it's give lots of options, and for the customers which don't have enough space in their walls.
We were just discussing that. Yeah. You know, it's beautiful, cutting edge kind of product, which is going to give the retrofit a whole new dimension.
Okay, let's now show. I will wire one of the wall switches here on live and show how they will like in the real world. Okay, guys, this is the wall switches. You can see this is the black series. Basically, this is the Legrand frames, and this is the Shelly frames. Is the glass finished frames. It looks like amazing and very good. In future, of course, we will have a different frames which will support. I see some question. No, the Gira frames unfortunately is not supported because the size is for Gira is bigger than our switches. But okay, it's even that it's you can use our one. it's better anyway. Okay, but let's show you how thin. You can see how thin is the whole installation. Is fit everywhere, and this is my wall. Yeah, with a bracket there. We cut it to see what's happening on behind. But first, what we receive in the package. This is the switch. 1, 4, 2, or 4 buttons. It's momentary button switch, which is compatible with any Shelly device. It's different. Also, to their switches, you can mount each of the Shellys. It's coming together with the switch that you can fit any Shelly on it. And now we show with the Shelly. This is the Shelly-Plus 1 PM. About the sizes, you see that the size it's not bigger. It's very equal to Shelly 2.5 of the new devices. All of new devices will share the same frame and the same size. Everything will be the same, which will help with the compatibility about the holders and what we want to do. Okay, but let's first wire it. What you need to do is to first wire the button, especially for the the stick. Now it's locked very well. There in the Shelly, especially the Shelly 1 PM has a 3L. They're interconnected inside that you can use one of them directly from the device, which are simplicity the wiring. And the second one is for the switch. And like that, this button is connected to the Shelly 1 PM. But they're going into the wall. We need power for the device. There is. I connect to the second tail to powering the device. The Shelly one also the Shelly 1 PM also need neutral. That's I connect the neutral, and this is the output for the white. Okay, and this is the whole wiring. You just need to put into the switch like that. And I have here some screw. It's not so easy on the table. For me, it's easy to do that on the wall. Okay. And finally, we need to stick the glass frame, and it's ready. Let's see, it's working or no? What do you think? Okay, the Shelly 1 PM is powered. I just need to press a click, and that's all. Also, which is very important, if you have a multi switches in the house, for example, 2-way or 3-way installation switches, 3 switches or 4 switches, no matter, it's very easy, because for the second and third and fourth switch, no matter how much, you don't need a relay. We just need to wire the cables to the wire all inputs from the switches to this device, and that's enough, which is absolutely decrease the it's very cheap options. It's very good options, because it's you don't need anything else, and also you don't need to rewire to rewrite your electrical installation, because all of the existing switches on these 2 or 3-way and installations is compatible. You just need to change the wires, connection between the wires, and that's all. In our web pages, there will be demonstration and schematics how that can be done. About the switch, it looks like a touch switch, but when you press, it click. There is the response from the switch, which is very helpful, especially for the kids, older people, or some people which is not so familiar with the new technologies in home automation. And there it is, that's one. You see, that's easy, is a less than 5 minutes work. And this switch is changed with the smart relay, and also it's very thin. You can see here how thin is the whole installation. Okay, thank you very much for this. And now, right to me is Kirill. The Kirill is our leading developer of the Shelly firmware. He's the architecture of the scripting in new Shelly devices, and he will make you some live demonstration and live scripting to show you just a little part of the applications and possibility which we can do with the new generation devices Plus and Pro. Hello, Kirill.
Hi, Dimitar. Big words there, big words. So this feature has been in the making for quite a while. As Ivan said in the beginning, we've been selling Shellys for 4 years now, and we've had numerous requests for all sorts of features and functionalities, some of them quite useful, some of them very specific, some of them outright weird and peculiar. Nevertheless, we've done our best to satisfy all of you, but that's simply not possible. We cannot bundle all the possible functionalities in a single device. So we've been wanting to add this feature for a while, and finally the hardware allows us to do that without compromising stability, security, and all the built-in features that we provide out of the box. Okay, so what do we give in your hands actually? We want to empower all the tinkerers out there, as well as all the serious professional industry solution providers. We want to enable you to integrate easily with third-party home automation systems. We want to enable custom use cases, scenarios, and behaviors. And we actually want to democratize home automation and IoT. We've been the leaf of the big IoT tree. Now those devices can be part of the brain as well. I've prepared a short demo of what is possible. But first, let me tell you about Shelly Script. We use, this is no secret, our firmware is based on Mongoose OS. It's an excellent, very stable, well-proven framework for small devices. And part of that framework is the NJS JavaScript interpreter. It's a small subset of the regular JavaScript language, but small is beautiful. We can't run the whole ECMAScript standard on a microcontroller, but this small language offers enormous possibilities, and the field of possible solutions is just, I can't imagine it. I'm eager to see what you do with that. We allow for a number of separate interpreters to run on the device. From inside the JavaScript code, you get access to the device identical to what you get over any of the supported RPC channels. So anything that's possible over HTTP, WebSocket, UDP in the near future will be possible by executing code on the device itself. You also can subscribe to events happening on the device and react accordingly. So no need to poll status. The language has built-in JSON support. We support an HTTP client which can do get and post verbs. Notably, it has SSL support. And just a few small facilities inside the interpreter to make life easier for the developer. I have a short demo now. First of all, can we briefly switch back to the video stream? I want to show the setup that we'll be using for the demo. So I have...
Okay.
I have here a bunch of the next-gen devices. This red one is a single-channel power meter enabled relay, and the others are +1 relays without the power metering. And each of them has a light bulb attached. On my browser, you can see the web interface of the red device. Just to show you I'm not lying, I'm clicking this widget and the light switches. Many of you already have those devices in their hands. What you don't have is that icon here, which says scripts. Let's start with a short demo. I've prepared something so I don't have to type everything from scratch. We have one of those other Shellys on this IP address, and the roller shutter behind me can be controlled using those URLs. So
the roller shutter is Shelly 2.5, right?
Right. Yes. We will have cover control for the next generation Shellys very soon. As is customary with every programming demo, we need to start with a hello world. Let's hope that the demo gods are with us. I'm running that script and I expect to see hello world here. Of course, the demo gods are not with us. Let me reload the web interface. Also, a quick note, this feature will be available as a beta next week. So those of you with Shellys will be able to test this. Okay, we see the output, but that's not very interesting. Actually, the hello world of an embedded device is switching an LED on or off. I don't have an LED available, but I have a light bulb. I've always hated live coding interviews. I hope I won't need the practice after this demonstration. So the way to control locally the device is to invoke RPC methods on it using this interface. I have to give it a couple of parameters. ID is the ID of the switch. I have to tell it to turn on or off. Quickly restart the script. It turns on. A nice little feature of that scripting implementation is I can inject arbitrary code in a running interpreter. So I can just run a command and it will turn off. Now let's put this into something more actionable. I am creating a timer. So let's say every 1 second, forever, I will run a function, and that function will be, turn the relay on. Well, that's not very interesting because the relay will stay on forever. But I can toggle it.
Sounded not working. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, I've always hated live coding interviews. Can you mine Bitcoin on it? I doubt it, although you can try. You can also try running a neural network on it. That's also going to be a challenge. We are still not sure what the practical limitations of the interpreter are. We don't have the endless tape, but some reasonably complex logic can be implemented. Like you can have a bunch of timers and a bunch of HTTP, simultaneous HTTP requests, etc. Okay, this is now clicking and it's very annoying, so I'll use an injected code to stop this clicking timer using the handle I have in a local variable. I stopped it in the bad time. Okay. So that's good for hello world. Let me show you how you can invoke the HTTP client and do an HTTP query. Again, using the RPC interface, we call HTTP get, we give it the parameter, and we probably want to say open the cover behind me. No? Well, maybe close it then.
Yeah, we need to close it up.
Yep, it's closing.
Yeah.
The same thing can be injected again.
Yeah.
That goes the other way. I'll stop that script. I'll show you something more involved. Custom behavior and interaction with other shells. I have this prepared in advance. So these are the IP addresses of the blue shells here. I have some global parameters and some state. The idea of that script is when I push that button, the event will trigger a timer which will turn those lights in sequence as if they were mounted in a hallway and you wanted some dramatic effect. Let's see if that works. No, that doesn't work because you have to run the script first. Now the script is active.
There's a question, can we invoke a specific script through the RPC?
Yes. So the RPC for controlling scripts allows creation, deletion of scripts, starting, stopping of scripts, and evaluation of arbitrary code.
Okay, is that mean in future that with the scripts, as example, each Shelly could work as a hub of other devices between them? Or hub as Bluetooth devices around when we extend the features, of course, not now.
Right, so any form of communication between devices is possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Right now, the features that we have included in the JavaScript interpreter are HTTP requests. But I have on the next slide some ideas for the future. Bluetooth control and connectivity to Bluetooth peripherals is definitely something that will be a killer feature, and we are considering it. Bluetooth support definitely needs some more polishing and work, but it is in the pipeline, and let's see what comes next.
But can you show me some communication outside of the Shelly? I know that you prepare something, which is...
All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do have a separate script. Please don't copy that token. We've prepared a short script to show how we can fetch weather data and react accordingly. So what this does is we give it a location. It will fetch the cloud cover value for this particular location, and it will either open or close the cover behind me based on the cloud cover. I will activate the script. It is now active, and I have to tell it where are we.
It's good to clear maybe the
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll tell the script we are in Sofia. Sofia has 31% cloud cover, and we're closing the cover. I'm not sure if that logic is correct, though. Maybe we should be opening the cloud the cover if it's cloudy.
I don't know, but it's done better at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, let's see what the conditions are in New Orleans. Again, I am now injecting JavaScript in a running interpreter. This is very useful for debugging or just trying out stuff, and also this can be used as a
100% of quotes.
Yeah. So you can trigger events within scripts using the RPC method of arbitrary.
You mean these scripts, if there is the cloud around in this location, is not if there is not so many clouds, it will be closed. If there is so cloudy, we will open.
Maybe I should do a short walkthrough around code.
Yeah.
So what we have is some configuration, the API key, URLs, and the list of locations that we support. We have a function which does an HTTP request to the Shelly 2.5 to open or close the cover, but the meat of it all is right here. So we do a get HTTP request to what was the API site? AccuWeather. AccuWeather gives us a JSON which contains the cloud cover information, and based on that cloud cover information, we parse and execute either open or close. So that's a good example of some intelligence and custom behavior hosted on the device itself, interacting with a third-party API service.
Which means you can create a script by for irrigation system independent of the data from the AccuWeather or other weather provider. You can calculate how much time to irrigating your yard.
Yes, definitely, definitely. That's a good use case.
Yeah, very good. Okay, Kirill, maybe you can
Is
tell
scripting
us.
done
Yeah,
on each device separately, or is it a central? So each device hosts its own scripts. The script contents, the JavaScript itself, is stored in the flash chip of the device and is executed locally. So each device has a set of scripts. I'm looking at this interface here, but I could, let me see. I have the IP addresses of the other devices. Maybe I don't have the demo version, which has the scripting engine, but yeah, we have the scripting engine here. This device has a completely separate set of scripts, its own logic.
Okay, sounds perfect. What's coming in the future?
Right. The future holds better error reporting and debug facilities. We want to make this feature very easy to use and pleasurable to develop with. We want to make the environment inside the JavaScript interpreter richer. For example, we will add various facilities for URL encoding and decoding, maybe working with dates and calendar, stuff like that. This very much depends on what you will request. We'll definitely add MQTT support. So devices currently do support MQTT. They can connect to a dispatcher, publish their status and accept commands, but scripts can't use that connection. We will add the possibility to use that connection. HTTP handlers means that scripts will be able to register URIs, which will be handled inside the JavaScript interpreter. So you will be able to easily send commands into a running script, not as it is now, evaluate some JavaScript.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't wait what you will do with this feature. It's a small language, but the field of possibilities is really immense.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Kirill. Thank you for your presentation. At first, there will be lots of questions. Let's try to answer some of them. I see. Yeah, there's one question for you. Is there an option to backup and import the script between the devices?
Yeah, definitely. You can just copy paste the script contents now, but we can make it possible to download.
I think this with the MOS, it's possible to do right now.
Can we switch back to my screen share?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a script. I can just copy that content and put it on the other Shelly. We can easily implement that as a downloadable file, but it's really no biggie.
Mm-hmm. Okay, a normal question, because many people asking if they're the home assistant, how this could be helpful, how this can work with the home assistant. Maybe the customers can in future can do the more MQTT request or different one. Or...
I wish the guys from Home Assistant were here. We actually collaborate with them quite closely, and they already have support for Gen 2 devices out of the box. They use the WebSocket RPC interface. But using the scripting feature and the upcoming MQTT support, we will be able to provide out-of-the-box MQTT discovery, because Home Assistant has this special protocol. That's one of the things that we couldn't implement as a stock option in the firmware, because it would bloat the firmware too much, and it doesn't make sense to support one but not support all the others. Home Assistant is definitely not the only open source home automation system out there. But now with this scripting feature, all of these custom integrations become possible.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds amazing. Okay. Think about this one. Other questions. There's so many questions. You know that also about the new app. Yes, we preparing. But before, something very important. The new generation devices from the next Monday. I think it's the 21 of or 20 of September. There will be this is not the launch dates. I mean the scripting, the firmware with scripting will be available for the all Plus and Pro devices. About the scripting, we will publish all documentation online and also in the Shelly Europe forum. You can read much more from the next week. and can be a part of our customers, which will help us to improve our scripting and to add more features and everything. Yeah. Other things is that there's so many questions. I just looking them. It's yeah, about the switches. I see a question about the United Kingdom and United States types. And the size of the switch is 50 millimeters, which means it's compatible in all brackets in Europe. And we will see, but for us it's not going to do the same design and the same switches also for different sizes, especially also for the United States, which will be in the next months if we decide to do that. Currently, we don't have final decision when to start to do it. Let's see first how it's going here in the European market. That's something which is also interesting for us. But let's see. Let's the launch dates. Let's see what's happening here. When we have the devices. The launch dates, okay. Yeah. For Shelly 4 Pro, yes, it's ready for pre-order. For the other device, for the Pro line, you can see the pre-order start of October 4th, and delivery will be from the middle of October. You cannot order right now, but very soon. For the wall switches, it's also the pre-order start of the October 4th, yeah, and the stock they will be in the middle of October. And for the Plus line, can you see? Yeah, it's available now. The Shelly Plus 1 and Shelly Plus 1 PM is available now, and you can order right now. The shipping starts from Monday, and you can have in your hands next week. Okay, that's everything from today and from our presentation. Many new products is coming in the next few months. I think end of October, beginning of November, we will show you another devices, which is very interesting and which we're asking for so long time, but it's still not ready to show them. I'm sure that you will be impressed. It's not the relays, it's something which is plug and play and can be used. And also we continuously working for new devices and everything, but this year it's very specific. There is the lack of chips and huge delay from suppliers. We prepare and we will be ready for production in June, but we don't have enough of chips, and for that one we postponed this event for September. But the situation is going better. When we're ready with the next devices and when they'll be in the mass production, I am sure we will prepare the new presentation and we will show them, and I'm sure that it's something which we like. But it's most important, we're working with the absolutely new technology which will change the whole automation significantly. There is no comparable device in the market. There is nothing which can do, I think, the half which the Shelly devices can. And thank you one more time. Thank you for Doug. Thank you from Angel. Thank you from Ivan, and thank you, Kirill, for participation of this event. And guys, I will answer, and our team will answer your questions in the next few days. Thanks for today.
Ihr habt gesehen, worum es geht, entweder jetzt oder schon vorher. Ich muss auch nicht mehr viel dazu sagen, was die Geräte können und wofür sie da sind. Wurde ja alles gezeigt. Trotzdem möchte ich einfach mal ein paar Sachen loswerden, die mir dazu eingefallen sind und mir so ein bisschen Gedanken darüber machen. Erstens zu den Hutschienengeräten. Eines davon, also den Shelly 4 Pro PM, den habe ich ja da, und ich kann mich auch noch genau erinnern, wann der angekündigt wurde. Das ist nämlich bereits über ein Jahr her auf der IFA im September 2020. Sollte im November 2020 erscheinen, also nur ein knappes Jahr Verspätung. Auf jeden Fall besser als der Rauchmelder. Das Video von der IFA könnt ihr euch hier oben nochmal anschauen, und ich würde euch auch empfehlen, das zu tun, wenn ihr Zeit habt, weil dann wird auch nochmal klar, wohin die Reise gehen soll, was die neue Gerätegeneration und insbesondere die Scripting-Funktion angeht. Dazu sage ich aber gleich noch was. Um es mal einfach auszudrücken, für den normalen Haushalt kann der 4 Pro PM in etwa das gleiche wie 4 Shelly 1 PM plus Hutschienhalter. Kostet auch in etwa das gleiche. Vorteile vom neuen Gerät wären zum Beispiel, dass der einen LAN-Anschluss hat, ein Display vorne dran und eben auch die Vorbereitung für eigene Skripte. Nachteil wäre zum Beispiel, dass man nur eine Phase anlegen kann, obwohl der Shelly insgesamt bis 40 Ampere schalten kann. Das ist aber auch kein kleiner Nachteil aus meiner Sicht. Ist okay, ist aber trotzdem ein gutes Gerät und mir ist auch total bewusst, dass das eine wirkliche Weiterentwicklung ist. Schon allein durch den Einsatz vom ESP32, mit dem man natürlich viel mehr machen kann als bisher. Schon mal beispielsweise in puncto Sicherheit. Die neuen Geräte können HTTPS, die alten nicht. Mir geht es jetzt einfach nur darum, mal herauszufinden, für wen, und zwar konkret und in der Praxis, diese neuen Hutschiengeräte überhaupt geeignet sind. Shelly sagt ja selbst in der Präsentation, dass die hauptsächlich als Lösung für neue Gebäude und eben nicht als Nachrüstlösung, um bestehende Installationen smart zu machen, gedacht sind. Wenn ihr jetzt das trotzdem machen wollt, also bei einer geplanten Nachrüstung, dann solltet ihr euch einfach fragen, zum Beispiel, wie viele LAN-Anschlüsse habt ihr in eurer Unterverteilung, die ihr dafür nutzen könnt, dass es Sinn macht? Benötigt ihr ein Display hinter der geschlossenen Tür der Verteilung? Könnt ihr programmieren und so eigene Skripte erstellen und so weiter? Wenn ihr das alles negativ beantworten müsst, dann stellt sich halt dann schon die Frage, warum ihr den 3- bis 4-fachen Preis für einen Shelly 1, 2 oder PM in der Hutschienversion bezahlen solltet, obwohl ihr das Potenzial gar nicht nutzen könnt. Na, könnt ihr dann genauso gut sowas nehmen. Es sind natürlich trotzdem tolle Geräte und ich bin auch total offen, wenn euch gute Argumente einfallen, warum man das trotzdem machen sollte. Schreibt mir es bitte in die Kommentare, ich lasse mich auch gern überzeugen. Apropos bezahlen, da komme ich nochmal auf die angesprochene Präsentation von 2020 zurück. Wenn ihr die Scripting-Funktion nutzen wollt und ihr könnt selbst nicht programmieren, was wahrscheinlich auf 95% aller derzeitigen Shelly-User zutrifft, wo bekommt ihr die Skripte dann her? Antwort gibt's eben in der Präsentation.
Every Shelly-Plus device will have a feature store and local scripting. So if you want to add a new functionality, mode or scene, all you have to do is download and install it from the Shelly feature store. You will be able to do this directly into the device, eliminating the need of a hub or a central server. At the same time, every developer will have the chance to create their own script and make it accessible to all consumers in the Shelly Feature Store.
Aha, aus dem App Store von Shelly. Super einfach und bequem. Wo ist der Haken? Natürlich wird Shelly das nicht kostenlos machen. Das ist jetzt nichts Offizielles und ich verrate auch keine Geheimnisse oder sowas, aber das liegt meines Erachtens einfach auf der Hand. Shelly hat über 3,5 Millionen Geräte verkauft und verdient nur an der Hardware. Es gibt keine Apps, keine Schulungen, keine Software, keine Dienstleistungen, keine Zertifikate oder sonst was. Also für ein börsennotiertes Unternehmen, was Shelly ja ist, mit der Kundenbasis völlig inakzeptabel. Das wird sich auch ändern. Könnt ihr mir glauben, ich habe selbst bei einem ähnlichen Unternehmen lange Zeit gearbeitet. Oder ihr vergleicht das einfach mal mit Apple, nur eine Nummer kleiner, und überlegt mal, wie viel die verdienen würden, wenn sie nur Handys verkaufen würden und nicht an jedem Verkauf im App Store nochmal 30% bekommen. Das sind Milliarden weniger. Das ist auch okay, nicht zu kritisieren, nicht, dass ihr mich falsch versteht. Ich kann auch keine Handy-Apps programmieren und wenn ich eine neue Navi-App brauche, dann gehe ich in den App Store und kaufe mir eine. Der Entwickler verdient was dran, der Anbieter des Stores auch, alles gut. Was ich allerdings nicht so toll finden würde, wäre eine Art Premium-Mitgliedschaft, bei der man vielleicht monatlich etwas bezahlen muss, um die Funktion, die das ohnehin teurere Gerät eigentlich ausmachen sollten, also weswegen ihr das gekauft habt und auch mehr bezahlt habt, nutzen zu können. Wenn man jetzt aber zum Beispiel in die neue Shelly-App schaut, und da mache ich übrigens auch bald noch ein Video dazu, könnte man vielleicht vermuten, dass ich da gar nicht so falsch liege. Also ich weiß es nicht, lassen wir uns mal überraschen. Also Zusammenfassung, Hutschiengeräte von mir, wenn ich neu bauen würde, dann würde ich mir die sicher holen, ansonsten vielleicht erstmal nicht. Obwohl, wenn ich neu bauen würde, dann würde ich sicherlich auch wollen, dass meine Beleuchtung auch dimmbar ist. Hutschiendimmer gibt es aber auch noch nicht. Naja, als nächstes die beiden normalen Plus-Geräte, also nicht Hutschien-Variante, Plus 1 und 1 PM. Die finde ich beide richtig gut. Auch mit ESP32, die lassen sich über Bluetooth einbinden, haben eine bessere WLAN-Reichweite, MQTT und Cloud gehen gleichzeitig. Man kann sogar gleichzeitig im Access-Point-Mode arbeiten und als WLAN-Client. Es gehen mehr Actions, HTTPS, vorne sind Anschlusspläne drauf gedruckt. Den Shelly Plus 1 muss man für den 12 Volt Anschluss nicht mehr umbauen und Jumper umsetzen. Richtig toll. Und die sind nicht viel teurer als die bisherigen Modelle und die Funktion wird auch noch erweitert. Also klasse. Jetzt werdet ihr euch aber wundern, ich würde mir momentan die Geräte trotzdem nicht kaufen. Warum? Aus zwei Gründen. Erstens, es gibt kein Add-on und man weiß auch nicht, wann eins kommt. Das Add-on ist aber aus meiner Sicht eines der beliebtesten und nützlichsten Geräte von Shelly. Ihr wisst ja, dass ich auch den Shop habe und vergeht wirklich kein einziger Tag, wo bei mir keine Add-ons bestellt werden, weil sie eben so viel Mehrwert bieten. Und da sind wir wieder beim selben Punkt. Überlegt euch bitte vorher, wofür ihr die Geräte nutzen wollt und kauft die, die am besten dafür geeignet sind. Ist es euch wichtig, dass Cloud und MQTT gleichzeitig funktionieren? Wollt ihr 20 Actions gleichzeitig machen? Okay, dann kauft die neuen. Das sind super Geräte, nicht falsch verstehen. Wollt ihr damit euer Garagentor öffnen oder den Zustand überwachen, Temperaturen messen und vielleicht danach schalten, vielleicht eine Fernbedienung anschließen oder andere Sensoren? Dann wäre eben der konventionelle Shelly 1 in Verbindung mit einem Add-on richtig. Was ich sagen will, bitte kauft nichts nur, weil es neu ist und seid dann eventuell enttäuscht, weil das, was ihr vorhabt, damit nicht funktioniert. Apropos nicht funktioniert, bitte seid euch auch bewusst, dass die neuen Shellys auch nur in der neuen App, die momentan noch in der Beta-Phase ist, richtig funktionieren, also im vollen Funktionsumfang bieten. Wenn ihr die in die derzeitige App einbindet, dann gehen eigentlich nur die Grundfunktionen, also an und aus und nicht viel weiter. Zeige ich euch auch im nächsten Video. Natürlich könnt ihr die Geräte trotzdem über den Browser konfigurieren und alles einstellen, was ihr wollt. Aber wie gesagt, wenn ihr sie in der App nutzen wollt, müsst ihr eigentlich warten, bis die fertig ist. Und das gleiche gilt auch für die Cloud. Und das wäre jetzt eigentlich mein zweiter Grund, warum ich mir momentan noch keine weiteren von den neuen Shellys zulegen würde, sondern ich würde noch ein bisschen abwarten. Letzter Punkt, die neuen Schalter. Auch die finde ich gut, weil sie ein großes Problem vor allem in Altbauten lösen, die zu flachen Dosen. Außerdem gibt es auch nicht nur einfache und Doppeltaster, sondern sogar bis zu vierfach. Also so eine wirklich schicke Sache und eine gute Idee. Allerdings sind mir da auch wieder ein paar Sachen aufgefallen, zu denen ich ein bisschen Gesprächsbedarf hatte. Ich habe auch den Dimitar von Shelly darauf angesprochen und die übliche Antwort bekommen. Also kommt alles noch, weiß noch nicht genau wann, ist aber in der Pipeline. Aber jetzt nur mal für Spaß. Was macht ihr eigentlich, wenn ihr seltsamerweise in eurer Wohnung nicht nur Schalter, sondern auch Steckdosen habt? Haben die dann andere Rahmen aus einer anderen Schalterserie, also Steckdosen Gira und die anderen Shelly oder eine andere Farbe? Oder vielleicht kommt ihr sogar auf die komplett verrückte Idee und wollt Schalter und Steckdosen in einem gemeinsamen Rahmen haben? Welchen nehmt ihr dann? Werdet ihr euch beim Thema Rahmen sind, generell eher für ein bekanntes Produkt, zum Beispiel von Gira oder Merten entscheiden, wo ihr auch nach 10 Jahren noch Sachen für eine Erweiterung, also vielleicht für einen weiteren Schalter nachkaufen könnt oder lieber was aus Bulgarien nehmen? Ist euer Elektriker schwer begeistert, wenn ihr ihm sagt, dass er zwar die Kabelschlitze stemmen darf, aber die Schalterserien und Relais, die besorgt ihr euch selbst aus Bulgarien und er darf die dann anschließen und so weiter? Und die allerwichtigste Frage, die ihr euch stellen müsst: Wer sucht bei euch eigentlich, wenn ihr renoviert, die Tapeten, die Fliesen, die Schalterserien, also alles, was man sieht, wer sucht das aus? Seid ihr das oder ist das eure Frau oder eure Freundin? Und wie erklärt ihr das dann, dass die zwei Schalter an der Tür jetzt anders aussehen müssen als die Steckdose daneben oder darunter? Also ihr merkt, worauf ich hinaus will. Es ist eine super Idee. Ich will das auch gar nicht kleinreden, aber meines Erachtens auch nicht ganz zu Ende gedacht. Ein gutes Beispiel, wie es zum Beispiel ginge, wäre Homatic. Dort hat man ja auch smarte Einsätze, Ist nicht ganz vergleichbar, weiß ich, aber da gibt es dann eben Adapter für alle möglichen Schalterserien, Buschjäger, Merten, Gira und so weiter dazu. Gibt ja eh nur 4 oder 5. Und dann sehen alle Smartenschalter genauso auch aus wie alle anderen und dann ist gut. Ne? Wäre meines Erachtens besser. Bitte nehmt mir das nicht krumm, dass ich nicht gleich alles super toll finde, nur weil es neu ist und wo Shelly drauf steht, aber was ich da in letzter Zeit gelesen habe, da gibt es auf Facebook, gibt es Leute, die stehen kurz vorm Selbstmord, weil sich gestern Shelly 1 gekauft haben und heute kommt der 1 Plus raus. Egal, ob die den überhaupt brauchen könnten oder nicht. Ne? Also das Beste ist, sucht euch den raus, der für eure Anwendung geeignet ist, und wenn ihr schon länger Shelly-Nutzer seid, dann bitte versucht euch auch mal zu erinnern, wenn neue Geräte rausgekommen sind oder eine neue Firmware oder beides gleichzeitig, wie lange das gedauert hat, bis das richtig funktioniert hat. Ein gutes Beispiel dafür ist zum Beispiel der Shelly Button 1, da mache ich demnächst auch mal ein kleines Video noch dazu. Den habe ich am Anfang, als er rauskam, habe ich da ein Video gemacht, wo ich ihn in die Mülltonne geworfen habe und so weiter, weil gar nichts ging. Und jetzt, also jetzt mit der aktuellsten Firmware, also mit wirklich weit über einem Jahr, funktioniert er einwandfrei. So lange hat das gedauert und jetzt ist er toll. Zeige ich euch dann auch nochmal alles. Und ich mache auch ja, wie schon gesagt, nochmal ein Video zur Beta-App, wo ihr die herbekommt, wie ihr die testen könnt und so weiter. Ja, ansonsten über eine kontroverse Diskussion würde ich mich freuen. Und bis dahin, macht's gut und bis bald.